Saw you once, this should have been the end of it. Just another stranger passing through a crowded room. But somehow every little thing stayed longer than it should have did. Now your name keeps showing up in everything I do. You never promised anything, never gave me reasons to. But my mind keeps writing stories like it always tends to do. And I know it's dangerous, getting close to something new, when I barely even know you the way I want to. Maybe it's the way you smiled, maybe it's the way you stayed, just a little longer than most people would have anyway. Now it's 2 a.m. and I'm staring at blue lights, thinking about your green eyes, trying not to replay every little thing you said, every little look you gave, like somehow there's a meaning hidden underneath. And I know it's crazy, you probably laughed if you knew. But lately every late night somehow turns into you. Friends keep talking, I keep nodding like I'm listening, but half my brain is somewhere back inside that conversation. You were laughing, I was trying not to notice it. Now I'm collecting memories from one interaction. Maybe I'm romanticizing, maybe I'm just lonely too. Maybe this is what happens when somebody feels brand new in a world that's gotten used to everything being temporary. You felt like a page I didn't wanna lose. Maybe it's the way you smiled, maybe it's the way you stayed, just a little longer than most people would have anyway. Now it's 2 a.m. and I'm staring at blue lights, thinking about your green eyes, trying not to replay every little thing you said, every little look you gave, like somehow there's a meaning hidden underneath. And I know it's crazy, you probably laugh if you knew. But lately every late night somehow turns into you. And if tomorrow you disappear like people do, I'll still have this feeling, like a song I never finished, through 1,000 almost moments, 1,000 things I'll never say, living in the silence between leaving and staying. Now it's 2 a.m. and the city's moving slowly, everybody's going somewhere while you're stuck inside my mind, like a photograph I never meant to keep. But somehow every memory refuses to leave. And I know it's crazy, maybe nothing will come true. But lately every late night, every quiet cafe, every song I play somehow turns into you. Yeah, lately every late night somehow turns into you.
Barrels turn around when I saw your street again. Funny how a place can keep a version of you long after you've gone. The traffic lights still change the same way they used to, like nothing moved on. I almost turned around, not because I miss you, not because I wanted more. Just for a second I forgot what I was driving toward. The city looked different, or maybe I did. It's getting harder to tell those apart. Some songs sound better years after you hear them. Some memories don't. I almost turned around, not because I miss you, not because I want it back. Just for a moment the past felt close enough to touch. Then the light turned green and everybody moved, including me. I almost turned around, and maybe that's enough. Some things don't need revisiting to remind you they matter. The light turned green and I kept going.
The light keeps changing on the buildings across the street. Someone closes a window. A bicycle disappears between rows of parked cars, and everything feels a little slower than before. The record skips once, then keeps going. Nobody seems to notice. A siren fades somewhere far away. The room settles back into itself. I watch the street below, like it knows something I don't. I watch the street below until the daylight starts letting go. A shadow moves across the table, then disappears. The same way most things do, without announcing they're leaving. I watch the street below, like it knows something I don't. I watch enough. The light keeps changing on the buildings across the street.
Taxi lights sliding past the window, rain turning everything to gold. Everybody's dressed for somewhere important. Everybody's got somewhere to go. The guy beside me checks his messages. The girl across the room stares into space. And for a second it hits me, nobody here knows my name. And somehow that feels kinda beautiful. Nobody knows your name, nobody knows your story. The city doesn't ask questions. The city just keeps moving. And tonight I think I like it that way. Just another shadow floating through the rain. The train rattles underneath the pavement, music leaking from somebody's headphones. Conversations blur together like scenes from a movie I've outgrown. Funny how a million people can make you feel invisible, and somehow at the same time make you feel possible. Maybe freedom looks different than I thought it would. Nobody knows your name, nobody knows your story. The city doesn't ask questions. The city just keeps moving. Tonight I think I like it that way. Just another shadow floating through the rain. No expectations, no reputation, no version of myself to maintain. Just this moment and the rhythm of a city that never explains. Nobody knows your name, nobody knows your story. And somehow that's the beauty of a night like this. 1,000 strangers passing by under the same lights, living different lives. Nobody knows your name, and that's alright. There's a light across the street, still shining after midnight. A stranger sitting by the window, reading underneath it. The city feels quieter now, like it's finally exhaling. And for the first time all day, I don't feel like chasing anything. Maybe every answer can wait until tomorrow. Tonight, I'm letting the world slow down, watching reflections move across the ground. No plans, no place I need to be, just the rain, the city, and me. Coffee's getting colder, the playlist running low. Outside, the last few taxis disappear into the glow. Everybody's looking for something, at least that's how it seems. Meanwhile, I'm finding comfort in ordinary things. Maybe every dream doesn't need a deadline. Tonight, I'm letting the world slow down, watching reflections move across the ground. No plans, no place I need to be, just the rain, the city, and me. Nothing's missing. For a moment, everything's enough, and maybe that's the feeling I've been looking for all along. Tonight, I'm letting the world slow down, watching reflections move across the ground. No plans, no place I need to be, just the rain, the city, and me. The light across the street still shining as the night fades away. Three missed calls from a number I still know. Haven't seen your name in years, still didn't let it go. The screen lit up, then disappeared, like most things do. Outside, the traffic keeps moving, headlights painting lines across the room. Everybody's headed somewhere. I stayed where I was. Maybe that's the funny thing about getting older. You stop chasing every answer, you stop picking up every phone. Some nights you just let them ring. The city sounds different now, or maybe I do. Same streets, different reasons. The
the walkthrough, the radio plays softly, like it knows something I don't. Maybe that's the funny thing about getting older. You stop chasing every answer. You stop picking up every phone. Some nights you just let them ring. I used to think everything needed a response. Now I think some things arrive just to remind you you're still here. Maybe that's the funny thing about getting older. The silence gets easier, the room gets warmer, and every once in a while a missed call is just a missed call. The screen goes dark, the city keeps moving. The bookstore closes early, a chair scrapes across the floor. Someone flips the sign around and locks the front door. The street is still awake, just quieter now. A train moves through the distance like a thought passing by. The buildings catch the last light before it disappears. Nobody says a word for a while. It's almost dark, not quite night. The city hasn't decided yet what it wants to be. It's almost dark and everything looks better in between. A window lights up 3 floors above, then another, like somebody teaching stars how to appear. It's almost dark, not quite night. The city hasn't decided yet what it wants to be. It's almost dark and everything looks better in between. Nothing changed, but somehow the room feels different now. It's almost dark, the sky turns blue, the kind that only lasts a minute or two. It's almost dark, and for a second nobody's rushing anywhere. The streetlights come alive, one by one. There's a table in the corner nobody really wants.
too far from the window, too close to the door. I always end up there without meaning to. The same song plays every couple of weeks. I never remember the name, just the feeling, like something familiar passing through. I keep coming back to the last table at the end of the room, where nothing happens, and somehow that's enough. The city changes every few months, new signs, new faces, new reasons to leave, and still that table stays where it is. I keep coming back to the last table at the end of the room, where nobody's waiting, nobody's late, nobody's leaving too soon. Maybe that's why I like this place. Nothing asks me to be anyone. I keep coming back to the last table at the end of the room. The light gets softer, the noise fades out, and for a little while everything feels still. The last table at the end of the room. There's a woman by the doorway, reading half the same page for at least 20 minutes. A guy in a navy jacket keeps pretending not to look at somebody across the room. The city outside is moving fast. Nobody in here seems interested, and I like it here. The slow conversations, the unfinished thoughts, the nobody has to go yet feeling. I like it here for no particular reason other than I do. A song I've never heard before somehow knows exactly where to land. The light keeps changing on the tables, making ordinary things look important for a second. I wish more days felt like this, and I like it here. The slow conversations, the unfinished thoughts, the nobody has to go yet feeling. I like it here for no particular reason other than I do.
just noticing what's already there, and I like it here. The quiet little moments that nobody posts about, nobody talks about, nobody plans for. I like it here, and honestly, that's enough for me. Yeah, I like it here.
Two, three. You were sitting by the window, headphones in, looking somewhere far beyond the glass. Like the city wasn't loud enough to interrupt whatever you were thinking about. I remember that, not because anything happened, nothing happened. That's kinda the point. Someone dropped a plate, a couple laughed too loud. The afternoon kept moving like afternoons do. And somehow you stayed perfectly still, like you belonged to another version of time. I don't know your name, never asked, never will, but every now and then I still remember the girl with the green eyes. Funny what survives years later, not birthdays, not conversations, not all the people I thought I'd never forget. Just random moments with strangers who never knew they mattered. I don't know your name, never asked, never will, but every now the girl with the green eyes. Maybe that's all some people are, a scene, a feeling, a chapter without a story, just a face in a quiet room that somehow stays forever.
Saw your name last Friday, somewhere I wasn't looking. Funny how a single word can rearrange a room for a minute. I was 22 again, standing in a city neither of us knew. It's not that I miss you, at least not in the usual way. I miss the version of myself who still believed everything was about to happen. You look better in my memory than you ever did in real life. A little softer, a little kinder, a little harder to leave behind. You look better in my memory. Maybe that's alright. Some stories aren't meant to connect.
Funny thing is, I wasn't even thinking about you. Walking past the same old places, different seas and different sky. Nothing really felt familiar till your memory walked by, like a song I hadn't heard in years, playing somewhere down the street. Not enough to stop me moving, just enough to make me smile. It's strange how some people leave but never really disappear. You cross my mind like sunlight through a window, out of nowhere, right on time. No reason why, no big dramatic ending, just a thought and then you're gone again. You crossed my mind. Someone laughed the way you used to. For a second I look back, not because I miss what happened, not because I want it back. Some things simply stay with you, like your favorite worn out shoes, old enough to leave behind but somehow hard to lose. It's strange how some people change into part of who you are. You cross my mind like sunlight through a window, out of nowhere, right on time. No reason why, no big dramatic ending, just a thought and then you're gone again. You crossed my mind. Maybe that's the way it goes, the older that we get. People turn into small pieces of the stories that we kept. Not forever, not forgotten, just somewhere in between. You crossed my mind like a photograph in motion, soft and quiet, passing by. No tears tonight, no wishing things were different, just a moment that felt nice. You crossed my mind. Funny thing is, I wasn't even thinking about you. Looks like everybody's leaving early. Office lights are turning off, one by one across the street. People folding up their weeks like receipts they don't need. Someone's laughing in the distance, someone's calling for a ride. And for the first time all day I got nowhere I need to drive. No plans tonight, and somehow that feels nice. Everybody's leaving early, heading somewhere, heading home. And I don't know where I'm going, but I don't wanna go alone. The city's getting quieter, the sky is turning cold. Everybody's leaving early, and somehow I'm letting go. Music playing from the doorway, couple dancing by the light, taxi passing through the shadows like a movie for the night. Nothing big is really happening, still I wanna stay a while, 'cause every little thing feels different when you're not rushing through the miles. No plans tonight, and somehow that feels right. Everybody's leaving early, heading somewhere, heading home. And I don't know exactly like this. Everybody's leaving early, heading somewhere, heading home. And maybe that's exactly why I finally slowed down enough to notice where I am. The city's turning gold. Everybody's leaving early, but I don't mind at all. No, I don't mind at all. Took the corner seat again, the one beside the rainy glass. Ordered what I always get and let another hour pass. The barista knows my face, she smiles like she knows the joke. 'Cause every Friday afternoon I keep that empty chair open. I tell myself I'm only here for coffee, but we both know that's probably not true. Maybe you'll show up, maybe you won't. Maybe you walk right through that door like nothing happened at all. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, but I still look up every time somebody steps inside. Maybe you'll show up. The rain keeps drawing little rivers down the city, lights outside. People come and people leave with somewhere else to be tonight. And every stranger for a second looks a little bit like you. Funny what hope can do. I know it's dumb to wait for something that was never really promised. Still, maybe you'll show up, maybe you won't. Maybe you walk right through that door like nothing happened at all. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, but I still look up every time somebody steps inside. Maybe you'll show up. Conversation would be enough tonight. Maybe you'll show up, maybe you won't. Maybe the rain will stop before I finally let this go. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not, but I'll probably take this seat again right around 5 o'clock. Maybe you'll show up. Show up. Maybe you'll show up. Maybe. Maybe. Alarm goes off at 7:08. Coffee's cold, but I'm already late. Bills on the counter, shoes by the door. Same old problems I had before. Everybody online looks so ahead, buying houses, getting married instead. And I'm just trying to make it through another Tuesday afternoon. Maybe I'm behind, maybe that's alright, 'cause I'm still here, still trying. I don't have it all together, don't know where I'm gonna be 5 years from now or next week, honestly. But the sun came up this morning, and that's enough for me. I'm still figuring it out, and maybe that's exactly where I'm supposed to be. Call my mom on the drive back home. She says stop carrying it all alone. And I laugh cause she always knows the things I never tell anyone. Got a couple friends, got a little hope, got a dream that's somehow still afloat. Some days that's more than enough to keep me moving on. Maybe I'm behind, maybe that's alright. Everybody's lost sometimes. I don't have it all together, don't know where I'm gonna be 5 years from now or next week, honestly. But the sun came up this morning, and that's enough for me. I'm still figuring it out, and maybe that's exactly where I'm supposed to be. No fireworks, no perfect plan, just a heart that keeps doing the best it can. No big breakthrough, no movie scene, just little moments making something out of me. Maybe growing up is learning not to know. Maybe peace is letting go of where you thought you'd go. I don't have it all together, and maybe I never will, but I'm laughing a little easier now than I did back then. Still, the city's glowing in the distance, and the night feels kind. I'm still figuring it out, one day at a time. 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 Nobody taught me this. Nobody taught me how to watch old friends move away. One day you're talking every night, the next it's birthdays and holidays. Nobody taught me how to walk into an empty room and somehow still feel crowded by the people I once knew. They told us how to make a living, not how to live. Nobody taught me this, how to miss a life that hasn't even happened yet. How to feel lost even when everything looks fine. How to keep going when there's no finish line. Nobody taught me this. Nobody taught me how to become the older one. The kid inside me still surprised when people ask me for advice. Nobody taught me how to stop comparing every page of my behind the scenes to everybody else's stage. They gave us all the answers except the ones we'd need. Nobody taught me this, how to miss a life that hasn't even happened yet. How to feel lost even when everything looks fine. How to keep going when there's no finish line. Nobody taught me this. Maybe nobody knows. Maybe we're all pretending. Maybe growing up is just learning how to keep walking anyway. Nobody taught me this, but somehow we're figuring it out. One ordinary day at a time. Some dreams change, some people leave, some doors close, some open quietly. Nobody taught me this, but I'm learning. I guess I'm learning.